Hi everyone, welcome. FPL Matt Day here, and I'm here for my FPL reaction for game week 11. One absolutely huge game week it was. So much drama, so many goals, and so many goalkeeper hauls as well. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go through each result, some of the bonus points, some of the things I picked up from this game week, and then I'll go through my team and its performance, and also my transfer that I've done ready for game week 12. And also another transfer I'm thinking of doing. And then any questions that come in, I'll also take. We will have a live game week 12 stream in 24 hours ready for the deadline. This one's really just reacting to game week 11 and what we saw over the weekend. But if you do have any questions for the up and coming game week or about this game week that's just happened, feel free to come in the comments and ask them anyway, and just join in for the fun and chat with everyone in the comments. If you are new here, if you can just give the channel a subscribe, turn on the notifications as well if you haven't done already, and give the video a like as well. But look, let's get straight into it. I'm going to go into the fixtures, and let's go through it. Let's check out the fixtures and what happened in game week 11. It was an absolutely crazy week. I feel like there's so much to go through, but this is going to be a quick stream tonight. Probably about 15-20 minutes just to go through what we saw, and obviously the reaction to it. So we started off, we had Brentford versus Brighton, 2-0. I predicted 1-0 on the stream, and I predicted a Tony goal on my deadline stream. Ended up getting 2 of them. I was happy. Tony was in my team. David Raya was in my team. Tony, really, really good performance again. He's been an unbelievable asset this season. Gets all 3 bonus. And then David Raya, we've said this on the pod. We've had Quentin Dunn from FPL Amateurs of Oz on this podcast before. And some of his words when he was on the podcast was, once Raya keeps a clean sheet, he's going to end up getting a huge score because of the amount of saves he makes. And he did. He got 7 saves, 2 bonus, and a clean sheet. So that was absolutely huge. But Tony deserved all 3 in the end. Really good little flick and back heel goal. And then obviously he got the penalty. Those managers who bring in the Brighton assets probably aren't going to be too happy. But look, overall, I think Brentford, did really well and probably edged it. Thanks for joining the stream, PSB. Hi as well. I hope you're good. It was a really good game week for me. Thanks. Fingers crossed I get another game week 12 arrow. I will go through my side as well at the end of the stream and my points. So so the viewers can see how I went. But completely agree. Brilliant number 9. And I think at the moment the way he's playing, the goals he's scoring, the types of goals he's scoring, probably does deserve to be in a top 6 Premier League side. I think your team, Man United, definitely need some reinforcements in that position. There's a few other teams that could do with a striker. I think Chelsea, could really do with a decent centre forward. And Tony is that one. Welcome to the stream, Matt Cowlin. Tony, a season keeper. I think he is at the moment. Like with his pens, you're probably expecting him to get 15 to 20 goals with the way he's going at the moment. So I think on that form and the way he's playing, and if you've already got him in your team, it's hard to get rid of him. And he is getting these double-digit hauls. He's already got the hat trick as well that we saw. He's been returning most weeks. An absolutely brilliant pick. Let's go on to the next game: Leicester versus Crystal Palace. This was a dreadful game. I can't really say anything sort of good about this game. It was absolutely dreadful. I'd probably say Leicester had the better of the chances overall between the two teams. Probably shows there when Guaita gets the man of the match and he gets 3 points. He got 3 bonus, 6 saves, 11 points. Another huge haul for a goalkeeper. Danny Ward as well, getting a clean sheet. Doesn't happen very often, but he did get one in this one, only the 1 save. But the biggest thing to come out of this game wasn't the quieter points. It wasn't the Gahey clean sheet. A lot of people ran Gahey in and Ward, who both got the points. It was the fact that James Maddison had 3 seconds to go in this game. He was on 4 bookings, and there was 3 seconds on the clock, and he and he gets a yellow card. I just couldn't believe it. I think it was only if you play FPL or are a Leicester fan would you actually be, concerned about this. I think Leicester fans are like, oh no, he now misses the midweek game against Leeds, and then FPL players that own Maddison are just like, oh my god, another worry for game week 12. Another player we've got to worry about, another player we've got to potentially move on. And it was just such a shame because in this game, he was the one for Leicester that did have the chances to score. He dragged a shot like just wide. And I think we probably would have preferred him just to get the 3 points, not return, and play the next game week than obviously the booking. But even if he was to just get an assist and the booking, we probably wouldn't have taken that. We would have preferred the 2 games. Maybe if he'd scored the goal and come out with 10 plus points, it might have softened it. But yeah, really disappointing. I think I said on Twitter at the time, Maddison is a clown, and I think I will stick with that suggestion. As PSB said, can't believe I watched Palace v Leicester. I dozed off, literally. It wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good game. I was lucky I was watching something else on TV at the same time, and I had the game on my phone. And yeah, it was one of the worst games this season. Yeah, really poor. And obviously the Maddison yellow topped it off for all of us that own him. So yeah, disappointing. But look, we move on. It gives us another headache to worry about for this coming game week. So that was Leicester Palace. Fulham Bournemouth. This was an absolutely cracking game. A couple of the picks really paid off in this. We had Billing, got an assist for one of the goals, and obviously Solanke comes out with a goal and an assist, like absolutely brilliant. Billing setting up the Solanke goal early on, which was just amazing, and then Solanke coming out with a double-digit haul. Like I said, I'll go through my team, but he was in my team. I picked him 3 game weeks ago, and he's really, really come out and just, paid dividends at his price. Absolute bargain. Massive enabler. Him and Billing, I think, should be hot on your radar for this coming game week, which obviously I will talk about in tomorrow's stream. But yeah, brilliant performance. And then from Fulham, Andreas getting the assist, which helped a lot of managers who had him either as first sub or had him in their lineup because of this fixture. I actually predicted this one at either 2-2 or 3-2 either way. So we ended up getting pretty much that. And we did get the Solanke double. Mitrovic obviously gets his goal from the spot. Pops up with a lot of goals this season. Was in the lineup. A lot of people didn't expect it. But 2-2. Again, from the bonus points, Mitrovic with 1. We had Diop with 2. And Solanke with all 3, which was well deserved. He nearly got another goal as well at the end of the game, which would have been phenomenal if that had gone in. But we can't get too selfish with Solanke considering his price. And as PSB has just said, Solanke is the GOAT. I think he is the GOAT right now. Big Dom Solanke. So what a game that was at Craven Cottage. Then we had Wolves Forest. Wolves were absolutely atrocious this game. I watched this. Look, they'll take the 3 points and they'll take the win, but they were atrocious. They got away with it, but they need it at the moment. They don't have a manager. Neves got the goal from the spot. It was a very controversial game, this one. Nottingham Forest missed a penalty. Jose Sarr coming out with a save and getting all 3 points. But a quick mention for Totti, the defender for Wolves. He's 3.9 million. Before this game, I bring Kilman in. I bring Johnny in. But I did do a quick Twitter post and I said, look at Totti. He's currently playing at centre-back for Wolves. He's 3.9. He's a really good switch if you want to get rid of Reece James and save a lot of money. And he comes out and got a bonus point. So really impressed with that one. 1-0 to Wolves. Very tight game. And Kilman did hit the post. So, it was very unlucky not to get another return from him. And then my team Spurs, 2-0 against Everton. Again, it was an okay performance. It wasn't anything sort of too flash, but we'll take the win. Harry Kane with another goal. Has returned in every single FPL game this season, except the first day of the season against Southampton. Again, Harry Kane, he's just a bonus point magnet. And the reason he's a bonus point magnet is because he's on the ball constantly. It's not like the old Harry Kane where he's, he'll get his tap in and then you won't see him on the ball. He's on the ball the whole game. He made the 3rd pass for Højbjerg's goal. That's a 3rd goal for Højbjerg. He's getting in the box really late, Højbjerg. So if you're playing maybe FPL draft, Højbjerg is probably a player you want to look at getting in because he's just popping up with goals. Bentancur with the assist. Kane got the 3rd assist. But Kane and Son both look really good in this one. And now Richarlison is injured, unfortunately. Hopefully he comes back, for the World Cup for Brazil. And obviously we need him at Spurs. Spurs should now revert to a 3-5-2, which is good for Kane and Son owners. But Perisic with the 2 bonus, he remained in the lineup. But good, solid performance from Tottenham. Probably didn't really expect anything from Everton in this one anyway. And then this game, Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 2. Mason Mount has come from absolutely nowhere in the last 2 game weeks. He is going to be mentioned on my deadline stream pod tomorrow. 2-0 win, double for him. Really, really good performance. Again, the goalkeeper Kepa, 7 saves, 2 bonus. Phenomenal stuff. Might keep Mendy out the side. And if he does, at 4.4 million, and obviously expecting him to rise to 4.5 if he hasn't done already, he's going to be a huge bargain in goal for Chelsea. One to look at when we get the unlimited transfers after the World Cup. So 2-0 to Chelsea. Leeds 0, Arsenal 1. Loads of controversy in this one. Arsenal managed to get the win. In the end, they didn't play their best, but they are winning games. Aaron Ramsdale, all 3 points and fully deserved. He had a really good game with his saves, kept them in it. Bamford did miss a penalty, and Gabriel, he ended up on the bonus there with, it looks like there, with all 3 bonuses he's come out with. And he's got a yellow, but he was just so lucky to stay on the pitch as well. So, but look, Arsenal aren't complaining. Bayo Saka with another goal and a bonus point in there too. 2 bonus points, sorry. And another one that should be on our radars. Then we had Man United 0, Newcastle 0. Not the best game, this one. Neither team really looking too sharp in front of goal. There was some controversial moments in this one as well, but not really too much to shout about from a Man United perspective from FPL, other than Dalot, who's quietly been going about his business this season. I think that's the 3rd game now he's hit 3 bonus points. So phenomenal stuff from him. And then we had Shah, bit of a blast at the pass from last season, and Botman with the rest of the bonus points. And Pope and Trippier owners will be very, very happy to get their double Newcastle clean sheet, which they've been patiently waiting for over the last few weeks. And we had Saints versus West Ham. Both we had a defensive goal from Saints with Perraud with a goal, and then Declan Rice with a goal for West Ham. He took all the bonus. Fabianski with 2, Cresswell and Cahill with 1. No returns for Bowen, so West Ham owners of Jared Bowen from West Ham will probably be a bit disappointed with that one. Paqueta was very, very close to return. He hit the outside of the post in the first half. And then the big one of the weekend, Liverpool versus Man City. So many things I can go over in this one. Perma-captain Haaland has blanked for the first time this season. No goal, no assist. Marked up the game by Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk. Did an absolute number on him. They showed the rest of the league how to defend this guy. But he still did have a couple of chances because he's just that good. He's always going to get maybe 1 or 2 goal scoring positions in a game anyway. But he was nullified for the majority of it. We saw Alisson with this phenomenal assist. It's rare that goalkeepers get assists, but when they're as good on the ball as Alisson, it does tend to happen a couple of times of the season. He's obviously scored before in FPL as well. So, this guy is just a phenomenal FPL asset over the last few seasons. 6 saves as well, all 3 bonus. Van Dijk on 2, Gomez on 2, more than deserved. Obviously, Salah did get his goal. We've been waiting for this goal for a while now. Didn't get the bonus, but he did look sharp. Back to more of the Salah that we know. But I do need to mention the point swing. So Foden had a goal disallowed, which it was rightly disallowed. Obviously, VAR disallowed it. The ref and the linesman missed it. So initially it did stand. But that point swing was huge. For example, my team, Haaland was my captain. He would have got me an assist. Foden would have got me a goal. So I'm looking at, an extra 6 points from Haaland. And then Foden, if they say kept that game at 1-0, you probably think Foden would have got, he would have got the clean sheet point, the goal point, the 2 for playing, and he probably would have got a couple of bonus, maybe even all 3. Because, winning goal, Man City, Foden, the form he's been on. So that's about 15, what's that, 4, 5, about 17-point swing. That is huge. That was actually mentioned to me earlier on. And I was told you probably lost about 17-point swing in that game. And I didn't really think of it at the time. But the one thing I will say is it was fairly disallowed, so I can't complain too much. I'm not going to complain about a point swing like that when it was rightly disallowed. So that is the wrap up from all of the results. Questions just come in from Quinton Dunn, which I'm going to go through just at the end of the reaction video, which will probably be in a few minutes' time. So stay tuned, mate, and I'll go through that for you. I'm just going to quickly go through my team. Obviously, I've had a poor season this year, but I'm going to keep chipping away and plugging away. And this week was a great week for me. 64 points. So I was well above the average. Really, really happy with this. David Raya and Tony with an absolutely huge score for me at the start of the game week. So I started the game week well. 10 from Raya, 12 from Tony. So I was buzzing off that. Then Madison, yeah, no good. 2 points. Yellow card for the dive. He deserves to miss this next game week for that dive. Zaha, really quiet, subbed off 3 points. Foden with 2. I obviously mentioned his disallowed goal. Andreas with 5 got me the return. But then in defence, Trippier with 6. Kilman, who was my transfer in, with 6. Happy with that. Cancelo, close to 6, but he made the mistake, which cost his team the game and cost FPL managers a clean sheet. And then up front, Big Dom, Solanke and Tony with double-digit scores, outscoring Haaland. Who would have expected that? And then on my bench, Coutinho, I'm hoping he starts for this coming game week. He was dropped to the bench by Villa. They've got to put him in. They need some spark. He's got to play in this next game week. But hats off to Danny Ward. Got a clean sheet, but it didn't matter because David Raya beat him. Let's quickly go to my team, which I will go through on tomorrow's live podcast. I've actually just realised I've kept the Slanky as the GOAT comment up for quite a while now. I'm going to keep it up because he is the GOAT and he did get me all these points. But here's quickly my team. Let's remember there is no Manchester City versus Arsenal game. It has been postponed because of train strikes, which leaves a big headache, right? I've got Foden, Cancelo, Haaland on my bench. Maddison sitting with a captain's armband right now, suspended and can't play in this game. I've used one transfer. I only had one. I've used it. Reece James is out. Mark Gahey is in. Clean sheet with 2 bonus points against Leicester. You've got a Wolves team. They can barely score goals unless they get pens or free kicks or absolute screamers. So I'm expecting this to be a tight game, maybe a 0-0, hopefully maybe a 1-0 and Zaha to nick the goal would be nice. So actually a 0-0 because I've got Kilman. So I want a 0-0 in this actually. I think that would probably benefit me a lot more. So I'll go for a 0-0 with some bonus from Gahey and Kilman. So he's my transfer. And then Madison's another problem. I am going to take a -4. I'm just going to have to make a decision. Who do I want in midfield? There's so many options. And I think because Madison isn't playing and none of my bench can play, taking a -4 is only like making a -2 this week. And if the player returns, happy days, I'm going to be up. So that will come on tomorrow's pod. So if you are new to this channel, give the video a like. Come into the comments, give me a subscribe and get the notification bell on and come back in 24 hours as well, because I am going to have a live deadline stream tomorrow. I'm also potentially going to be appearing on another podcast for FPL Amateurs of Oz. So you'll get 2 of me tomorrow. So yeah, come with all your questions and that as well. But welcome to ask some questions right now as well for this week's reaction video from game week 11. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I am going to bring up this Football Ferreira. What a man. He's just said the GOAT. Yeah, great channel, Football Ferreira. He does a lot of Premier League previews. So go to his channel now. Hit the subscribe button on his channel. Some really good stuff. I'm definitely going to be on his show at some stage when I can get the time zone between in Australia and the UK, because he's in the UK, right? And I'm going to appear on his live streams that he does. He is an Arsenal fan, so it'll be quite fun because I'm obviously a Spurs fan. So maybe we can have some Spurs Arsenal debates on there. That would be pretty cool. But let's get an FPL question up quickly. Obviously, this is the FPL reaction game week 11 video, but I did say if you've got questions for this coming game week or anything about game week 11, put them in here. I've got one at the moment from Quinton. Is a -4 a bad decision this week if you only have 9 players? Is that going to be 9 players once you've done the -4? I'm assuming it's 9 players right now, -4, and then 10 players. But no, I don't think so, mate. Because if you've only got, say, 9 players, you do a -4 to get 10 in. It's only a -2. And then if they return, you're up anyway. So yeah, I think it's worth doing it, especially if you bring in a player that you want for the next 4 or 5 game weeks. Then you're looking fine, because he's going to return for you, kind of, I guess, in aggregate, because it's going to be a return hopefully this week. If he doesn't, might return on the weekend or might return the following weekend, and it will pay itself back. But I've never been a big fan of hits, which everyone knows. People that have watched me over the years know I don't like doing hits, but I've done 2 of them this season, and I've been up on both of them, because obviously a very volatile FPL season, and I'm going to take another one this week anyway. So yeah, mate, I don't think it's a bad decision. Sorry, mate, I didn't realise you weren't an Arsenal fan. You're right. I'm in a chat with you, and it seems like everyone is Arsenal fans, slagging off Spurs. So and you're glad you weren't born an Arsenal fan. That I have to agree with that one. But look, I'm just going to bring up a couple of points before I end this stream. I'll bring up some of them throughout the reaction pod. Obviously, I went through the results. I went through the bonus. I went through my team. I went through my 1 transfer, which will turn into 2 in the next 24 hours once I decide who I want to bring in. But I'm just going to go through a list of things that caught my eye in this game week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, or any questions or anything you thought about it as well. So some of the standouts for me, we had 5 double-digit keeper returns this week, which was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't believe it. One of them was a Jose Sa save, 14 points. One of them was an Alisson assist, 14 points. I can't think of a game week when we've had 5 double-digit keeper returns like that. Unbelievable. We also had a Danny Ward return, second one this season. Phenomenal. I couldn't believe that. It's now made me think I might play him in my game week 12 team, which I did obviously just show my team, and Danny Ward was in goal at the moment over David Raya. So I couldn't believe that. Mason Mount was the highest scoring outfield player this week with 15 points. So that's 2 double-digit returns in 2 games in Mason Mount. Where has his form come from the last couple of weeks? Unbelievable. I've never been his biggest fan in FPL, but it's because I tend to find he gets those real big isolated scores against struggling sides. And yeah, he's done it again. And he's hot right now. So Mason Mount with 15 points. Another point, Harry Kane, another return. He's only blanked in 1 game this season. Unbelievable stuff. Big captain shout for game week 12. And then Dominic Solanke, 2 returns in 2, double-digit score. He scored more points than Erling Haaland this week. A goal and an assist. Absolutely phenomenal away at Fulham. I did say in the deadline stream for game week 11 that it's almost like a championship game, and Solanke liked playing in the championship because he got 20 goals or whatever it was at Bournemouth, or 28 goals. I think it was 28 goals. So for him, he saw it as a championship game and he took to the challenge. We also had a Tony double, which was phenomenal. Really good back heel and the pen. Then we had a Maddison yellow with 3 seconds to go, which was, insane. Like I mentioned before, he was just an absolute clown this week. Deserved it with just a ridiculous dive. I'm annoyed because he's in my team, but I'm also, I can't be too disappointed. Like with the Foden disallowed goal, which is my next point, the point swing between the Foden disallowed goal and the Haaland assist was probably 17 points in my team, which probably would have put me up an extra 500k to 1 million places, because obviously my rank's not great, so I would have just flown up. But again, the goal was rightly disallowed, so I can't complain too much. And then the last 2 points, permacap, Haaland blanked for the first time this season. Hats off to those managers that went Harry Kane, and also Mo Salah. A friend of mine went Salah. He just thought, look, I don't want to captain Haaland at Anfield. He's like, I'm backing Salah at Anfield. Big game. Pep's only won at Anfield once as Man City manager, and that was in lockdown with no fans. He's picked up a couple of draws, but Salah loves this fixture, and he backed Salah and he got the goal. And the question is Salah back? Is this time to bring back Salah? Is he back, or was it just the fact that it's Man City? He got the big goal, and then is he going to go quiet again? I guess that's going to be a topic for tomorrow's game week 12 deadline stream. A couple of comments that have just come in before I wrap this up. Football Ferreira's just come in. Yes, man. Hopefully, you can come along soon on my show for some debates. You are more than welcome. Keep up the good work. You should be at least 2K subscribers. I don't get why you haven't got. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it. It is all a work in process from my end, mate. So look, I cannot wait to come on your show, mate, and have a good football debate with yourself. Welcome to the stream, James, mate. Good to have you on. You had a great FPL week this week. I think you got 65 points. And you're also doing really well in the FPL draft league. You're winning a draft league that I'm in, quite some way as well. So he's asked, will Gomez be a starter in Liverpool's backline until World Cup? Value, if so, for me. I'm not up to date on Konate, Matip injured. Any ideas, Guru? Up the yids. Yeah, mate. Thanks for the Spurs love. Yeah, look, at the moment, I think Matip is still injured. Konate is on the way back. But his fitness, I think, like they were saying, he was kind of like half fit. He wasn't ready for yesterday's game. So like, I'd say, like, I guess we're only, 4 game week 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then I think 17 is the World Cup, or might be the last one. So 6 game weeks? I reckon if you get him with the idea of the next 6 game weeks in mind, I reckon you'll get 4 games out of him. Maybe even all 6, to be honest. I reckon you'll definitely get the next 3 out of him, mate, with the fitness. But I'll come back to you on tomorrow's stream. So if you tune in tomorrow with that again, I'll come back to you on tomorrow's deadline stream, because I'll chat to a few Liverpool experts and get back to you. But from what I've heard, Matip's done and Konate is kind of on the way back. But for now, Gomez is coming in there, so could be a very good pick. I like that one. And I think you just quickly said, yeah, the value. Yeah, I agree. I think he's very good value right now. And then Football Ferreira, Mount is playing more as a free rule under Potter, gives him the chance to explore all this quality. I agree. And, we saw that in the last 2 games. And plus, his free kick he scored was unreal. He can take corners, he can take free kicks. Really good FPL asset to look at, for this up and coming game week. But that's all going to be for tomorrow. Thanks to those that tuned in live on tonight's stream. I really appreciate it. As I said, if you are new, please give us a subscribe, give the video a like. And even if you watch us on pre-record, get your comments in, ask good questions for Game Week 12 in the comments. I'll be back in 24 hours for the live Game Week 12 at FPL Match Day stream. Can't wait for it. Another big game week ahead. I hope you enjoyed the FPL Game Week 11 reaction video covering all the results and just my key points that I took from it. So until then, I'll see you all in the next one. And again, thanks for tuning in.